trying to do a live show. I am live, my sister. I have to talk with you when we do it. Okay, let's stand. Let's go ahead. We're going to get started. Wednesday program. It's going to be a little bit different today. Go ahead and lead us in prayer, brother, my son.
Our Father,
Our Father,
which art in heaven,
God in heaven,
hallowed be thy name.
hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done.
Thy will be done
On earth
on earth
as it is in heaven.
as it is in heaven.
Give us this day
Give us this day
our daily bread.
our daily bread.
And forgive us of our debts,
And give us our debt
as we forgive our debtors.
as we forgive our debtors.
Lead us not
Lead us not
into temptation,
into temptation,
but deliver us
but deliver us
from evil.
from evil.
For thine is the kingdom,
For thine is the kingdom,
and the power,
and the power,
and the glory,
and the glory,
forever.
forever.
Amen.
Amen. You may be seated. Thank the Most High today for the program today. The program today is going to be a little bit different. It's not going to be all scriptural, but there will be some scriptures that will be in the be mentioned throughout the program. Excuse me, I should have combed my hair. Anyway, today's program is called "We Have a Problem with Our People Accepting Who They Are." So we thought we would do a program a little bit different, something that's educational, and something also that's spiritual as well. We're calling it "Embrace Your Blackness." Embrace your blackness. Okay. A lot of times our people are very frustrated. They think that being like other folks is the way to go, and they have this advantage, that advantage, but you don't know who you are. That's first of all. You just don't have any idea. As a group of people, we don't have any idea who we really are. We need to know this and the importance of who we are. Embrace your blackness. Well, where does that blackness come from? It comes from a substance called melanin. What is melanin? Melanin is a hormone that is secreted from the pineal gland. Pineal gland is located in the brain, and it is right in the area where the pituitary is. The word melanin, what does it do? It is a brownish black pigment that's found in all parts of your body. Found in your hair, skin, your eyes, your feathers, anything in the earth, plants, melanin is in it. What does it do? It's an antidepressant, it's an anti-stress. Comes from the word male, which deal with manna, or dark. That also means great, numerous, also honey, or sweet. So embrace yourself and who you are because of who you are. A lot of times our people have been taught to hate ourselves and to dislike ourselves. But we need to stop trying to copy after other people and learn to embrace ourselves and our skin color. We don't even have the idea of how blessed we are, but we're going to learn today how blessed we are. Now, whites themselves, a lot of them have these crazy notion of not wanting to mix, and they don't mix with other people. They got a lot of inbreeding. That's why you have all these people doing all these crazy things. These people are insane. That's why their skin is so pale, and they're crossbreeding with each other and doing all these crazy things, like eating raw meat and all this sort of thing, and then having incest among themselves. There's a disease called Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease, and that disease is depicted by dementia, memory loss, poor balance, jerking, blindness. All this comes from this disease of these people crossbreeding with each other and thinking that they're going to stay pure, but they're not. Um, our skin color, melanin, is a dominant color. Black is dominant, and white is recessive. So don't let anyone tell you anything different than that. You need to know that you're supposed to be dominant, and you were dominant in history, but because of sin and the things that we did, our ancestors, that's why we're no longer dominant, but we are coming back. Let's go to the book of Deuteronomy 28, chapter verse 32. Deuteronomy 28 and 32.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 32.
Mm-hmm.
Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people,
Mm-hmm.
and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing all them for all the day long. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
And there shall be no might in thy hand.
Mm-hmm. That's okay. That's okay. Hold right there. Hold right there. I'm going to skip a little bit. Okay. So your daughters and sons going to be given, but there's not going to be any might, but given to another people. Your eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long. You're going to be looking for them, trying to figure out where they are. You miss them, you love them, but there's not going to be any strength in your hands to what? To redeem them. And that's what happened to our people during slavery, and even today we still are having problems sometimes from time to time. Slavery is still alive. It may not be as prominent in the United States, but in some parts of the world it is still going on, believe it or not. Skip down to verse 36 for me, brother.
Verse 36.
Mm-hmm.
The Lord shall bring thee
Mm-hmm.
and thy king, which thou shalt sit over thee,
Mm-hmm.
unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known.
Mm-hmm.
And there shalt thou serve other gods, wood and stone.
So here we have the 36th verse, and the Most High will bring you and your king, which is set over thee, unto a nation which neither your father nor your grandfather knew them. You had any idea who these people are? And these people are going to make you worship gods of wood and stone. And that wood and stone represent Christianity, which is the cross, and the stone represent the Kabbalah. Not Kabbalah, but the stone in Mecca. Trying to think of the stone now. It's anyway the black stone, the Kaaba. I'm pretty mispronounced. The Kaaba stone in Mecca or Islam. So now you understand why our people are into these other religions, other than our original religion, which is the Hebrew religion or the Israelite religion, which is basically the same as Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and our other grandfathers. So we learn these other religions from these other people, these other nations that put us into slavery. So no, Christianity is not your original religion, neither is Islam. So I want our dark-skinned brothers and sisters to know this and to understand this. Read verse 37 for me, brother.
Verse 37.
Uh-huh.
And thou shalt become an astonishment,
Mm-hmm.
a proverb,
Mm-hmm.
and a byword
Mm-hmm.
among all nations, whether the Lord shall lead thee.
You're going to be an astonishment. They're going to try to figure out, well, how are you surviving? I mean, I make you walk 50 miles to the coast. I don't treat you bad. I work you all day, keep you up half the night, and you still multiplying, still having babies and stuff. I don't understand it. And not only that, you're going to be a byword. And it didn't say among some nations. It said among all nations, whether the Most High shall lead you. What is that byword? That byword is the N word. Okay, and it can be nigra, it can be the N, that they say in English. It can be, so many other ways to pronounce it. Preta, which is black, in the Portuguese. But it's going to be a byword among all the nations. So wherever you go, they're going to label you this byword, and it's not nice. And you and I both know if you're a person of color, quote unquote black, then they're going to do that to you. And they will do that, okay? Anyway, we have to realize that we are a blessed people, and we have to embrace who we are, that we are the people of the Most High, and not be ashamed and let these other nations make us feel bad. We need to get where we begin to have some honor and respect for ourselves and our loved ones. Let's go to Job 30 and 30. Job 30 and 30. Embracing the blackness. That's what we're going to talk about today. The darker you are, the stronger you are. I want you to understand that. Okay, that blessing of that melanin melanin. Okay, that's organic melanin. It's all in your body. It's all over you. And the more you got, the stronger you are, the brighter you are. Go ahead, brother. Job 30 and 30.
Job chapter 30, verse 30.
Uh-huh.
My skin is black upon me.
See, Job said, my skin is black. So I want you to realize that these people in the book were not just, they weren't European folks. Everybody want to lie to you and tell you that. But he used to, plain as day, Job said, my skin is black. He didn't say white. He didn't say red. He said black. Just like they call us. That's what Job is, okay? Go ahead, brother.
And my bones are burned with heat.
And my bones are burned with heat. See that? Praise the Most High. Praise the Most High. My skin is black and my bones are burned with heat. Praise Him. Our eye color, skin color, thinking, melanin makes us better. But it is some people think that eye color, oh, I want lighter color eyes, and green and hazel and all this kind of foolishness and great, and spend thousands of dollars for that kind of stuff. They spend thousands of dollars to bleach their skin and don't realize that what they're doing. They're messing themselves up. You got to stop hating yourself. Stop copying these other nations. You better learn to embrace what you have. This thing that the Most High gave you make you unique. It makes you different. It makes you favorable. It makes you strong. It makes you like Yeshaya and like AHAYAH. I mean, melanin. These people aren't telling you, these Europeans aren't telling you that's what they're studying. They're talking about chemistry stuff. They're studying melanin. They're trying to figure out how they can make it. They can't make it because of the change in composition. It's a chemical reaction. They know it. I know it. Anybody that's smart and intelligent can go and study and realize that. But they're going to copy it. They're going to try to do everything they can do. See, when our loved ones die, they go inside the eyeballs and take out the cornea. Y'all didn't know all of this, did you? That's why sometimes you look in the chest, you see an incision on the abdomen. They don't went inside. They be taking out the organs. Why? Because these organs in our people are much stronger than these other nations, much stronger than these white nations. Okay? And they know this. Or they take out and go in the back of the head. They even went in there and took the pineal gland out. Why? Because they get in the real melanin from the pineal gland. They try to synthesize it, but they can't do that. They may know what's in it, but they can't put their composition together. Only the Most High has done that. So all this stuff that they're lying, talking about you can buy it over the counter, they're lying. They can't do that. Okay, they cannot do that. This is a multi-billion-dollar business, these body parts that these demons are taking out and doing all of the time. But see, you and I don't know this. Okay? And like I said, we think that this European stuff, bleaching your skin and changing the eye color and all that stuff make you better, but it doesn't. It make you weaker. It make you more vulnerable and make you less intelligent. There's no question about it. They know that. Everything you see, they've gotten it from people like us. Taking the inventions and gotten the patents, made the money off them. That's what they've done. So don't fool yourself. These people do this in Israel. These people in Israel are the ones responsible for doing these body parts, this multi-billion-dollar business. They do it because they want to get the pituitary, which has a human growth hormone. It has anti-aging, youth, and they know this. That's what they do. They get the pineal gland, which has a melatonin, which I was telling about, and melanin in it. Let's go to let's go to Solomon chapter 5, verse 2. Solomon 5 and 2. Song of Solomon 5 and 2.
Song of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 2. I sleep, but my heart waketh. It is the voice of my beloved that knocketh, saying, Open to me, my sister, my love, my dove, my undefiled. For my head is filled with dew, and my locks with the drops of the night.
Okay. And my locks with the drop of the night. That's it, brother?
For verse 2.
Okay. Locks. Who has locks? Brothers, sisters have locks. Not European folks. Their hair is straight. Straight like a horse. Straight like a dog. It's not locked. Only somebody have locks or twisted hair or people of color known as quote-unquote blacks or Hebrews. That's who have the locks. So Solomon had locks. You can plainly see this here in the Bible here. Let's go to Amos chapter 9, verse number 7. Amos 9 and 7. We're talking about embracing your blackness.
Amos chapter 9, verse 7. Are ye not as the are ye not as children of the Ethiopians unto me, O children of Israel? Saith the Most High. Have not I brought up Israel out of the land of Egypt, and the Philistines, and from Captor, and the Syrians from Ker?
That's it?
Yeah,
okay, so that's verse 7. So it's telling you, aren't you like the Egyptians? And you know the Egyptians are dark. So the Hebrews were dark. They were not like, they were not no European. They were not these so-called Jews that are over there now, these Ashkenazis who are over there now. They were dark like the Egyptians. Who are dark like the Egyptians? We are. Because we hid, we worked in Egypt, we hid amongst the people. Yeshua hid amongst the people as a baby. Moses hid as well. He was there. So that's who we are. And we embrace that. We need to embrace that. Once again, I was saying that the melanin, they don't really know what's in it. They just, they don't know how it's put together. But they've been trying to formulate it. They got some false stuff on the market, but it's not true. And we talked about the pineal gland, where all the melanin, the main portion of the melanin is. This is what they measure on the inside. And you got melanin in your skin, but that's not what they measure. That's important as well. And obviously, the more melanin, the darker you are. Okay? The pineal gland is about the size of a pea, so it's not a big gland at all. It's right there where the nerve of the eye crosses, called the optic chiasma. It's in that area, out of the brain. And it's very, very important. We ourselves, blacks, we've learned to hate melanin, you know, and that's so sad, because when we hate melanin, we learn to hate ourselves. But we need to stop that, you see. We do not have unity among ourselves. We got backbiting, we got reveling, we got cursing, we got discourteous things to each other, robbing, killing, using our own people. We got to stop this. Okay, we got to stop. We got to learn to love melanin and not hate it. Our blackness. We're going to need to do. Let's go to Jeremiah 8 and 21. Jeremiah 8 and 21. Embrace your blackness. That's what we need to do. You need to know that. You need to know who you are, why you're special, that you ain't just somebody, that you got something in you that the other nations have been trying to copy, and they've been trying to go into the tanning booth and get it, and you know what I'm talking about. All in song and burn all up, getting skin cancer. That's what they're trying to do, is get that melanin, okay? Go ahead, brother. Jeremiah 8 and 21.
Jeremiah chapter 8, verse 21. For the hurt of the daughter of my people, am I hurt. I am black. Astonishment hath taken hold on me.
Okay. Okay, so he said, for the hurt of my people, hurt of the daughter of my people, am I hurt? I'm black. Astonishment had taken hold on me. So you see, once again, Jeremiah is a brother. He's a dark man. Who do they have on television representing Jeremiah? Some light-skinned European, which is a lie. Here it is plain as day. He was black, like me, with melanin, lots of melanin in his skin, and like you. So you see all these great orators in the book are black. Let's go to Jeremiah 14 and verse number 2.
Jeremiah chapter 14, verse 2. Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish. They are black unto the ground.
They are black unto the what?
Black unto the ground.
Black unto the what?
Black unto the ground.
Black all the way down to the ground. Keep reading, brother.
And the cry of Jerusalem is gone up.
And the cry of our people have gone up before the Most High. Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof they languish. They're black all the way down into the ground. These were not European. These were no Ashkenazi. These were brothers and sisters. Embrace your blackness. Embrace who you are. Embrace it. That melanin makes you different. Yes. These other nations try to copy. They go all inside of the bodies. They're taking out organs and stuff to get it. Multi-billion-dollar business. They ain't telling you about it, but I'm saying it. You need to know it. That this is very, very important. They're in the lab studying it, trying to put it together, but they can't, because the Most High didn't design it that way for them to be able to do it. Let's go to Matthew 11, chapter verse 18 and 19. Embrace your blackness. Embrace it. Learn to love it and appreciate it. Take care of it. Don't abuse it. Don't hate on each other. Quit hating on each other and start loving on each other. Go ahead, brother.
Matthew chapter 11, verse 18. For John came neither eating nor drinking, and they say he hath the devil. Verse 19. The Son of Man came eating and drinking. They say, excuse me, behold, a man gluttonous and a winebibber, a friend of publicans and sinners. But wisdom is justified of her children.
So here they called John the Baptist. They were saying he was the devil because he wasn't eating or drinking. But they're going to call him a devil anyhow. They're like, they're going to talk about you and me. And here it is, Christ come along, eating and drinking. And they said, he's a gluttonous man and a winebibber. He's a friend of the sinners and the publicans. But wisdom is justified of her own children. Wisdom do that. Wisdom take care of herself. He don't need nobody to stand up for him. We know who he is. Thanks to the Most High. We can go to, let's go to let's go to Revelation 1 and 14. See, we're talking about Yeshaya. Revelation 1 and 14.
Revelation chapter 1, verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow. And his eyes were as a flame of fire.
Okay, his head and hair were white like wool. Who has woolly hair? It ain't no white folks. It ain't no European. It's got to be a brother with some woolly hair, white as snow. His eyes are like flame, and you and I both know that's like fire. Red eyes. Read verse 15, brother.
And his feet like unto fine brass.
Feet unto fine brass, and brass is bronze color, like a penny. It ain't pink, it ain't red. It's a bronzy color or brown color. Go ahead, brother.
As if they burned in a furnace.
If it's burned in a furnace, that means it's going to be kind of a chocolate brown, or not quite dark, but dark enough, like a penny when it turns from that bright copper color to a darker copper color. That's what color his skin is. Keep reading, brother.
And his voice as the sound of many waters.
And his voice as the sound of many waters. This is given a description of Yeshaya. Some call him Jes. We know who he is. He's the Son of the Most High. And you can plainly see he is not no pink, and he don't have no straight hair. He ain't no European. He is a brother. He is a Hebrew. He is an Israelite. That's who he is. According to this description right here by John the Revelator, he saw him as he is. Thank the Most High for that. Now, there are two types of melanin. One's called eumelanin. That is brown, brownish in color, or black. It's very abundant. And there's pheomelanin. That's a reddish brown color. This is often associated with red hair and freckles. That's mostly found in the European. So the first one, eumelanin, is mostly found in our people, or people dark skinned. And the other melanin is found in the Anglo-Saxon, or the white folks, if you want to use that term, or Europeans mostly. Let's go to the book of Daniel. The other thing about the melanin and the whites, they tend to have selenium in them, and it's pretty high also in sulfur. So that's where you get ammonium and sulfur is very high in their melanin. That's why you wouldn't smell them when they get wet. Their hair has that very strong odor in them versus us, and they have selenium as well. So they do give a different body odor than the so-called black people do. Daniel chapter 10, verse 5 and 6, please.
Daniel chapter 10, verse 5 and 6. Then I lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a certain man clothed in linen, whose loins were girt with fine gold of Uphaz. Verse 6. His body also was like the beryl, and his face as the appearance of lightning, and his eyes as lamps of fire, and his arms and his feet like in color to polished brass, and the voice of his words like the voice of a multitude. So here we see in the 10th chapter of the book of Daniel, verse 5 and 6, he's seeing and looking at a certain man clothed in linen, whose loin was girded with a fine gold of ephod. He had a girdle on him, like the high priest Melchizedek wore.
This is Yeshaya here. His body was like the beryl. His face was like the appearance of lightning. His eyes like a lamp of fire. And you just got through seeing the same thing in the book of Revelation. And his arms and his feet like in the color of polished brass. And here's brass again, showing Yeshaya being a man of color. He was a black man. He was a black man. He was no European man. The voice of words like the voice of a multitude, or many waters as described in the book of Revelation. This is the description of the Messiah. Blessed be his holy name. Let's go to Daniel, the 7th chapter, verse number 9. 7 and 9.
Daniel chapter 7, verse 9. I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool. Pure wool. Keep reading, brother. His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as a burning fire.
Wheels of the burning fire. His hair on his head was like the pure wool. And once again, you can see it as plain as day. Here he has got woolly hair in the book of Daniel, talking about the Ancient of Days. He saw him sitting. Blessed be the Most High. Blessed be the Most High. For he is like us, quote unquote, black folks. Okay? That's the term you want to give us, but we know we are the real Hebrews. That's who we are. Let's go to the book of Exodus, chapter 4, verse 6 and 7.
Exodus chapter 4, verse 6 and 7. And the Most High said furthermore unto him, Put now thine hand into thy bosom.
Put your hand in the bosom, Moses.
And he put his hand into his bosom. And when he took it out, behold, his hands was leprous as snow. Verse 7.
Hand was white as snow. Keep reading, brother.
And he said, Put thine hand into thy bosom again. And he put his hand into his bosom again, and plucked it out of his bosom. And behold, it was turned again as his other flesh.
It turned again as his other flesh. So here, he put his hands in his bosom, and it changed. It was leprous as white as snow. Put his hand back in his bosom. This is the Most High testing Moses to give him an example, let him know that he was with him, and that the miracles of the Most High was going to be demonstrated by him or through him. He put his hand back into his bosom, and when he pulled his hand out again, his hand had turned again as his other flesh. So it went back to the brown skin. It definitely was not white all along. It turned from dark color to white and then back to the dark color, back to his brown color. So Moses, once again, was just like you and me. He was a dark man. He was a dark man. I want to say that melanin is part of the nervous system. It regulates the rhythm of the system of the body. That's why you soul brothers and soul sisters got so much rhythm, and you can move around and snap your fingers and do that because you got so much more melanin in you. And you see, the pineal gland get calcified much quicker in Europeans than they do in our people. That's why they be two-stepping and doing the trying to have some rhythm in the country and western stuff, but they can't be coordinated because once that pineal gland get calcified, then it throws off your rhythm. It throws off a lot of things. And that's why you see them not being able to do as much or be able to dance as good as we can and move around as good as we can as they begin to get older. So they have, once again, like I said, more ammonia and sulfur in their bodies, and they have less melanin in their bodies and everything. Also have more salt in their bodies as well. That's why they can tolerate cold better than we can. You see them in the middle of the wintertime with a coat on wearing short pants. That's why, because that ammonia make their bodies much hotter than ours. We can stand that heat more. They can stand the cold more, and that's why they can do that. Melanin helps you see sharper, hear notes clearer, taste food better. I mean, we got all these wonderful things that we don't even know about that's in our body that come with the blackness that we have and the dark skin that we have in everything. Melanin has cells in the brain, and melanin cells are there. They're in the nucleus. These particles are very important. All the proton, neutron, and electrons, chemistry. These things are dealing with melanin. They're not going to tell the black the truth that it's the melanin or the dark dot in your cells that they're looking at. They call it chemistry. But they've been studying melanin. All that stuff is melanin. They've been hiding it from us. So we need to know that. Okay? A person's function and dysfunction is studied by multidisciplinary. Okay? It is affected by the melanin of the person. You measure the amount of melanin in the inside of the body, not that which is in the skin. Now, when a man and a woman get together, that sperm and that egg get together, all of that is dealing with melanin. There's melanin in the outer layer of cells of the egg and also in the head of the sperm. So when they get together, there's a chemical reaction with the melanin. And that's what happens. So as the melanin hits it, it causes a dye. And it causes the egg and the sperm to spin in a certain direction. Instead of being opposite, they spin in the same direction. That's why those chromosomes can then connect. And you have 22 pairs of chromosomes and 2 of the sex chromosomes. That's what you have in your body. So all this stuff takes place because of melanin. Let's go to Jeremiah, the black dot, melanin. That's what we are. Got a lot of it in us, all in our brains. Matter of fact, there's 12 areas in the brain where melanin is very, very plentiful, especially in the people of color. Let's go to Jeremiah 17. Let's read verse 1 through 4.
Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 1 through 4. The sin of Judah is written with a pen of iron and with the point of a diamond. It is graven upon the table of their heart and upon the horns of your altars, which their children remember their altars and their groves by the green trees upon the high hills. Verse 3. O my mountain in the field, I will give thy substance and all thy treasures to the spoil, and thy high places for sin throughout all thy borders. Verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thy inheritance that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever. Okay, hold right there. So there he is, Jeremiah, telling them what's going to happen to them. And we know for a fact that this happened to us. It is dealing with so-called black folks or so-called people of color and what we were going to go through and how the Most High said he's going to discontinue his heritage, which he had given us. We're going to serve our enemies in the land where we know it's not. For the fire of the Most High was kindled against us, and his anger was against us. And he said he was going to let that burn forever. But praise be the Most High for his mercy and his kindness. And I want to thank him for, we suffered and stuff. But praise be the Most High that he had mercy upon us and has began to lift his curse and his wrath against us. And he asks us to repent and turn from our wicked ways, keep his commandments and statutes, and we would do that the blessing will be returned upon Israel, and that's what we're doing now. So praise be the Most High. But embrace your blackness, embrace this dark color of the skin. Know that there's a blessing, it's not a curse. Let's go to Ezekiel 8:3. Our hard-headedness and disobedience was the curse, not our skin. So we need to know this. We need to know this. Ezekiel 8:3. Ezekiel chapter 8, verse 3. And he put forth the form of an hand and took me by a lock of mine head. And the Spirit lifted me up between the earth and the heaven and brought me in the visions of the Most High to Jerusalem, to the door of the inner gate that looketh toward the north, where was the seat of the image of jealousy, which provoketh to jealousy.
Okay, hold right there. And he put forth an hand and took me by my locks. Once again, who has locks? So-called black man. Of mine head, and the Spirit lifted me up between the earth and the heaven. So I'm flying in the air like an angel. And brought me in the vision of the Most High to Jerusalem, to the door of the inner gate that looketh toward the north. I'm in the temple of the Most High, where was the seat of the image of jealousy, which provoketh to jealousy. Jeremiah was seeing what the children of Israel were doing behind the walls. They were breaking the laws and the statutes, worshiping other gods or being and idols. And they were doing all sorts of things they was not supposed to do. But Jeremiah was carried by the angel by the locks of his head. Therefore we know that Jeremiah had to be a man of color to have locks in his head. Once again, embrace your skin color. Melanin, it gives us harmony. Harmony deals with synthesis. It also can be decomposition, a decompose. So it does that. And it also has displacement properties. So it does all. Harmony, decompose, decompense, and displacement. The more melanin, the more human you are. The more melanin, the more intelligent you are. The more melanin, the more spiritual you are. That's why you soul brothers and soul sisters can get up there and sing like a mockingbird and can dance all across the floor because you got that melanin in you. You ain't got two left feet. You got an actual left and a right foot. And you got some rhythm and soul, as we used to say in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. And that's the difference because of the amount of melanin you got in your skin and in your brain and everything all throughout your body. So embrace it. Melanin can adapt. It can adapt. Melanin, it can adapt by nature or by nurturing all of the by the person. You see, it can do that. Now, what is DNA? DNA ain't nothing but a double strand of melanin, which is wrapped around a sugar molecule called ribose, R-I-B-O-S-E. For those of you who know biology, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So that DNA molecule ain't nothing but a double strand of melanin wrapped around a sugar called ribose or RNA. Let's go to Deuteronomy 28 chapter. Let's go back to Deuteronomy 28 and 48. Deuteronomy 28 and 48. I'm talking about these dark-skinned people, so-called Negroes, okay, who are the real people in the book. 28:48, Deuteronomy.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 48.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Most High shall send against thee, in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck, until he has destroyed thee.
I want you to hold right there. Therefore you shall serve your enemies. Whoever this is he's talking about, they're going to serve their enemies, which the Most High shall send against them, in hunger and in thirst. And who was in hunger and thirst? Nobody but them slaves. Naked. They had them stripped down and had a little loincloth on our little private. Sometimes we didn't even have that. We was always in want of things. Cover, food, shoes, clothing. We was always shaking and cold, starving and hungry. It was pitiful. And they put a yoke of iron. Nobody else had a yoke of iron around their neck. Okay? Nobody had a yoke of iron around their neck. But the real slave. Who was that? The slaves that were carried over to the Western Hemisphere. Even when we were in Egypt, we didn't have no yoke of iron around our neck. We got it the second time. We went in Egypt the second time. Blessed be the Most High. So nobody fits that description but the children of Israel, the real children. That's what they do. They're the only ones that fit that. Now, our difference, like I said, we're spiritual. Blacks, we tend to have the spirit, mind, and body. That's the way we present the spirit first, mind second, and the body. Whereas the European folks, they are the opposite. They have the body, the mind, and the last thing is the spirit. So they don't have much spirit, quote unquote. But we do. Okay? Let's go to Exodus chapter 2, verse 17 through 19. Exodus 2, 17 through 19. Embracing your blackness. Embracing who you are.
Exodus chapter 2, verse 17. And the shepherds came and drove them away. But Moses stood up and helped them and watered their flock. And when they came to Reuel, their father, he said, How is it that ye are come so soon today? Verse 19. And they said, An Egyptian delivered us out of the hand of the shepherds, and also drew water enough for us and watered the flock.
So Moses came down, stood up, and helped these sisters there at the well. When they were trying to water their sheep, these were the daughters of Reuel, their father, and they came home early. And he said, how do y'all get home so early? And they said, an Egyptian. They didn't say a European. They didn't say a white man. They said an Egyptian, a dark-skinned man. A man with woolly hair. A man that had black skin came down and he helped us. Huh? Had the hands of the shepherds and also drew water for us, watered the flock, so we was able to get home early. Embrace it. I'm just going through the book and letting you know the importance of your darkness and that you all in the book. Everything has melanin. Trees, animals, metals, the earth. It's all throughout the earth. Synchronized relationship. That rhythm, as I say, the rhythmic system. All had to do with melanin. Trees swaying, melanin. Everything you see, melanin. Melanin is that carbon atom that they be talking about. That's melanin. They ain't told you that, but it is. That's why they be trying to figure out stuff. That's why they be studying you so hard. You people of color. That's why they be out there modeling themselves after you. That's why they be trying to sing like you, dance like you, act like you, get their skin color like you. But yet at the same time, they want to act like they hate you. Isn't that something? So if you hate something, then why are you emulating and copying it so much if you hate it so much? Europeans, why y'all do that? That makes no kind of sense at all to me. None whatsoever. Blacks need at least 2 hours a day of sunlight to really let their melanin function. We need to do that. And we need to stop eating the European diets. Our body is different. They need worms and stuff like that in their body. That's why they eat that pork. They help break down their food. We don't need that. So we need to leave that pork and that other stuff alone that the good book told us in the 11th chapter of Leviticus. We need to eat our own diet, our own food. We're not made like they are, believe it or not. And we have certain things that I mentioned earlier in the body that they don't have. They have a different composition in their bodies. Blessed be the Most High. White folks like to attack us spiritually. Y'all need to understand that. This is a spiritual attack that they're doing. Yeah, they get the body, but they coming at you spiritually. They love to come into the church. They want to attack you spiritually. They got you what? Got you worshiping their God. Got you worshiping on their day of the week. Got you singing their hymn. Got you eating their food. They're going to deal with your spiritual aspect. They know you're spiritual first. They're spiritual last. See? So you got to understand your enemy. You got to know how he's coming at you. How to defend yourself. How to protect yourself. You see? You got to be able to do that. Let's go to Exodus 11 and 7. Exodus 11 and 7.
Exodus chapter 11, verse 7. But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue against man or beast, that ye may know how that the Most High doth put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel.
Keep reading.
Verse 8. And all these thy servants shall come down unto me, and bow down themselves unto me, saying, Get thee out, and all the people that follow thee. And after that I will go out. And he went out from Pharaoh in a great anger.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So all the children of Israel, they're going to move as a tongue. They're going to get themselves together. They're going to get out of there. And he told them there is a difference between Egyptians and the Israelites. Blessed be the Most High. Bless his holy name. Embrace your darkness. Thank you. Let's go to Psalms. Let's go to Hosea, the 11th chapter. Hosea 11. Hosea 11. We'll begin at verse number 11.
Hosea chapter 11, verse 11. They shall tremble as a bird out of Egypt, and as a dove out of the land of Assyria. And I will place them in their houses, saith the Most High.
He's going to bring us back home. We're going to tremble as a bird out of Egypt, as a dove out of Assyria. We know we was in captivity in both of those. In Egypt, we're still in captivity over American Egypt now. We are, whether we admit it or not. And our people are within the land of Assyria. Some of them are still there. And I will place them in their houses, thus saith the Most High. Read verse 12 from me, brother.
Verse 12. Ephraim compasseth me about with lies, and the house of Israel with deceit. But Judah yet ruleth with the Most High, and is faithful with the saints.
All right, then. So you see here, he's saying that Ephraim, then and Israel went away from him, but Judah at the time was still worshiping and praising the Most High and the saints. Blessed be the Most High. All right, let's go to Psalms once again, talking about the spirituality of our people. We're spiritual, and these other people, they're spiritual last. We're spiritual first, and our bodies and things. Our bodies is last. It's spirit, mind, and body for blacks. As white folks, it's body, mind, and spirit. That's the way that they think, and that's the way they're put together. Blessed be the Most High. All right. So we'll go to Psalms 83. We're going to read verse. We're going to read 1 through 17. Talking about embracing your blackness. 83, 1 through 17, please.
Psalm 83. Keep not thou silent, O Most High. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Most High. For lo, thine enemies make atonement. They that hate thee have lifted up their head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
They don't took up crafty counsel against Israel. Go ahead, brother.
And consulted against thy hitting
against the little babies of Israel. Go ahead, brother.
They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation.
Cut them off from being a nation. You ain't going to be together no more. You're going to be everything but a nation. Go ahead, brother.
That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
So we don't want to even remember. You're going to cut you off so bad. We don't want them to even remember your name, Israel. They conspired to do this, these nations here. Go ahead, brother.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
They all agreed to do this, and they lied if they tell you they didn't, whether they did it openly in the meeting or they did it subconsciously. They did it. They all conspired together. Go ahead, brother.
They are confederate against thee.
Yes.
Verse 6. The tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites and Moab and the Hagarenes.
Oh, right there. Edom was the first. Here's come Ishmael. Moab is third, and the Hagarenes. Go ahead, brother. Gebal.
And Ammon.
Ammon, the brother of Moab. Keep going, brother.
And Amalek.
Amalek, the same one that King Saul was supposed to take out, and he didn't take out. He's conspired against it. Go ahead, brother.
The Philistine.
The one that gave brother our grandfather David the pure fish, the Philistine. Keep reading, brother.
With the inhabitants of Tyre.
With the inhabitants of Tyre. Go ahead, brother.
Assur. Also is joined with them.
Assur or Assyrians. You know who that is. They took the northern kingdom away. Go ahead, brother.
They have helped the children of Lot.
They helped Ammon and Moab. They're helping the children of Lot. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 9. Do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kishon, which perisheth at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Verse 11.
They became as dung for the earth. Go ahead, brother.
Make their nobles like Oreb, and like Zeb.
Listen.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, that's all right.
Yea, all the princes of
Zebah, yes.
And as Zalumba, excuse me, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of the Most High in possession.
We're going to take all y'all riches, all y'all money, all y'all gold, silver, brass. We're going to take everything of the Most High from you Hebrew Israelites. That's what we're going to do. Read, brother.
Verse 13. Oh, my power, make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Verse 14. As the fire burneth a wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire, so persecute them with thy tempest.
Persecute them with your fire and with your strength, Most High. Go ahead, brother.
And make them afraid with thy storm.
With your storm. Let it come down and rain on them. Go ahead, brother.
Fill their faces with shame.
Yes, make them shame, Father.
That they may seek thy name, O Lord.
They return from their wicked ways and try to seek you, knowing that you are the Almighty. Go ahead, brother.
Let them be confounded with, and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish.
Let them be put to shame and let them perish. Or let them be thinking they're going to flourish forever. Let them be shamed. Let the world see them as they are. Break them on down. Thank you. Keep reading, brother.
Verse 18, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is AHAYAH, art the most high over all the earth.
All men gonna know who you are, great one, because your name is forevermore written in the heavens and on the earth. And now the men are calling on that name again. Blessed be the name of AHAYAH. It is the most high over all the earth. Blessed be his name. Melanin, glacial brightness. See, we have to understand that melanin is so important, like iron. When you cut out the iron, you become emotional. Iron gives you stability. Melanin has to deal with that. Also, things like lithium. When you don't take your lithium, you become mainly depressed. But that's that melanin that deal with that. Manganese also. Women have to have that. That's dealing with that part of that melanin that's in your body. If you don't, you're going to go through that thing which women go through late in life called menopause. What are we talking about? We're talking about melanin. That carbon atom, that sea substance, that black dot that's in your brain, it's all in your body. Embrace the blackness in your skin, knowing that you can see better, you can hear better, you can taste better because of the blessing that the Most High gave you. It's not a curse, it's a blessing. And you accept your blessing and embrace your blessing and embrace your blackness and just be excited about it because you're Israel. Everybody's copying you. Everybody's making money off you. They want to try to tell you all these negative things, but forget them negative things. They're just trying to deal with your psyche, knowing that they want to be just like you. If they didn't, they wouldn't be doing all of these things that they're doing. Melanin is equivalent to your soul. It's equivalent to not only your soul, but there's a part called a bindu seed. And also I mentioned it's called a black dot. All these things are interchangeable, but they are the same. All of it deal with melanin. The difference between us and them is white people tend to what? They want to be bisexual. We're not like that. As a whole, we're not like that. Why? Because we're spiritual people. Now they're trying to get us to be that way. But as a whole, we don't do that. If you study the Greek and Roman culture, you see, yeah, they had a wife, but they also had little boys they was messing with on the side. We don't do that as a people. And if we are, you need to cut that out because that's not you. That's not who you are. That's not who your people are. We're not people. We're people of the book, and so we know better. But they're trying to get us to be like them, get us to be whoremongers and filthy abominators and stuff like that. We got to get away from that and being sodomites. We got to get back. Those of us who are doing that, you need to quit it, because if you don't, may the Most High have mercy on your soul. You're going to lift up your eyes and you're going to be like that rich man in that torment and flame in hell. That's where you're going to be. That's where you're going to be. You need to eat more things like vegetables of color that have melanin in them, like carrots or bell peppers or things that have color. All these things are important, you see. What is melanin? It's encoded in the iris of the eye. It's the pattern of your entire organ system. Believe it or not, is in the color of your eye. So them dark brown lenses, embrace that. Those are beautiful things. They're heavy in melanin. Some of y'all trying to spend all this money about blue eyes and green eyes. You can't see better with that. You got to see, you can't appreciate the colors. It's the darker that lens, the more you're going to appreciate the colors in the light. That's right. All this stuff is encoded in the iris of the eye. That's an extension of the brain. All of that deal with melanin. The pineal gland itself, that's what deal with your psyche and your imagination. That's why they want putting fluoride in the water so they can calcify your brain so you don't have no imagination. You can't have no psyche. You got to reverse that. You got to start taking things that decalcify it or reverse it, distill water and things like that. You know, there are a number of things that can be done to decalcify your pineal gland so you can have real dreams and stuff like that. Now, European people, a lot of times, by the time they get 12, 13, 14 years old, they what's called already calcified. As I mentioned earlier, that's why they have a hard time dancing and being rhythmic and keeping rhythm and things like that. But we need to understand that our circadian rhythm, how we sleep, all this stuff deal with melanin. All of it deal with melanin. There's no question about it. And serotonin, it deal with the coordination during the daytime, sleeping and stuff. Serotonin does. Let's go to Romans chapter 11, verse 1 through 36. Romans 11, 1 through 36. It's grace of blackness. Romans 11, 1 through 36. 11, verse 1 through 36.
Romans chapter 11.
I
say then, hath the Most High cast away his people?
No.
Most High forbid. For I also am an Israelite, the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin. No, the Most High hath not cast away his people which he foreknew. Would ye not what the scripture said of Elijah? How he maketh an intercession to the Most High against Israel, saying, Lord, have they killed thy prophets and digged down thine altars?
They killed the prophets and digged down the altars. Keep reading, brother.
And I am left alone, and they seek my life. But what said the answer of the Most High unto him? I have reserved to myself 7,000 men who have not bowed the knee to the image of Baal.
In other words, Elijah, you ain't the only one that's still worshiping me. I got 7,000 you ain't never even seen. You think you by yourself, but you're not. Same thing. I want the Hebrews to understand, even though you don't see anybody around you in your little town, you don't communicate, there are some other, more of us, and there are people that are just like you. Just keep the faith. Keep the faith. Keep reading, brother.
Verse 5. Even so, then at this present time also there is a remnant according to the election of grace.
Yes, keep reading.
If by grace, then it is no more of works. Otherwise, grace is no more grace. But if it be of works, then it is no more grace. Otherwise, work is no more work. Verse 7. What then? Israel hath not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election hath obtained it. And the rest were blind.
Keep reading.
According as it is written, the Most High hath given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear, until this day.
Hold right there. So that's what you're seeing with Israel right now. They got eyes, they slumber, they sleep, and the ears, they can't hear. Even though all these things are going on all around them, and you preaching and teaching and talking to them, guess what? They still asleep. Keep reading, brother.
Verse 9. And David said, let their table be made a snare, and a trap, and a stumbling block, and a recompense unto them.
Recompense unto them, because they don't want to know the truth. They don't want to wake up. Let it be a trap and a snare. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 10. Let their eyes be darkened, that they may not see, and bow down their back always. And, I say then, have they stumbled that they should fall? The Most High forbid. But rather through their fall salvation is come unto the Gentiles, to provoke them to jealousy.
So you see the Most High let this thing come upon us to be asleep and the ears plugged up, to make so the salvation come unto the Gentiles, to make us jealous, so we will turn from our wicked ways, wake up and worship Him. He is not forsaking us or forbidding us. He's just trying to get us to wake up and turn and worship Him. Come awake, come alive. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 12. Now, if the fall of them be the riches of the world, and the diminishing of them the riches of the Gentiles, how much more their fullness?
Okay. Oh, so all this stuff you see and all the money and stuff that left us, them Gentiles got it. They got our money. They got our glory. They got everything. You see, they even took our religion, our name, everything. Okay? So we need to understand that we decrease and they increase. And guess what? We're finna do the reverse. We're coming back. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 13. For I speak to you, Gentiles.
I speak to you, Gentiles.
Inasmuch as I am the apostle of the Gentiles, I magnify mine office. If by any means I may provoke to emulation them which are in my flesh, them are my flesh, and might save some of them.
Wake up, Benjamin. Wake up, Israel. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 15. For if the casting away of them be reconciling of the world, what shall the receiving of them be but life from the dead?
Come on, Israel. Wake up. Come out the grave. Stop being dead. You got life. I'm going to reconcile you back unto me. That's what he did through Yeshaya. And he's calling you to this day. He's calling you out of the valley of them dry bones. Keep reading, brother.
Verse 16. For if the first fruit be holy,
yes,
the lump is also holy.
First fruit is Israel. Go ahead, brother.
And if the root be holy, so are the branches.
The root of Jesse, Yeshaya. So are the branches, and we are the branches because we are the children of the Most High. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 17. And if some of the branches be broken off, and thou, being a wild olive tree,
yes,
were grafted in among them.
You Gentiles were grafted in among us. Go ahead.
And with them partakest of the root of the fatness of the olive tree.
Yes.
Boast not against the branches.
Don't boast against us Hebrews. Don't boast against us Israelites just because you get a chance to come on in now because you was grafted in. We was born in. Go ahead, brother.
But if thou boast, thou bearest not the root, but the root thee.
You see that? We are the root, brother. You just parted and grafted into the branch. But we are the root. Okay? You ain't the root. Okay? And don't boast about it. Keep reading, brother.
Verse 19. Thou wilt say then, the branches were broken off, that I might be grafted in.
Yes.
Well, because of unbelief, they were broken off.
Okay, there you go. Now you see why he did let you come in, you Gentiles. Because some of Israel didn't have a belief. They were showing unbelief. Go ahead, brother.
And thou standest by faith.
And the only reason you in there now, because you got some, what? You got some faith. Go ahead, brother.
Be not high-minded, but fear.
But be humble. Don't have your head all up in there thinking you better than Israel because you not. Don't be high-minded, but be fearful. Keep reading, brother.
For if the Most High spared not the natural branches, take heed, lest he also spare not thee. So
if the Most High put Israel in slavery and made him suffer for 2,000 years, don't you get the big head, okay? Lest he ain't going to spare you. So if he put the natural branches and then spare them, what do you think he going to do to you? You grafted in. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 22. Behold, therefore the goodness and severity of the Most High on them which fell severity, but toward thee goodness, if thou continue in his goodness. Otherwise thou also shalt be cut off. Verse 23. Verse 23.
Keep reading.
And they also, if they abide not in unbelief, shall be grafted in. For the Most High is able to graft them in again.
So he gonna bring Israel back in. All they gotta do is what? Believe it. He's gonna bring them right back into the tree. Go ahead, brother.
For if thou were cut out of the olive tree, which is wild by nature, and were grafted contrary to nature into a good olive tree, how much more shall these, which be the natural branches, be grafted into their own olive tree?
See, we part of the natural olive tree. We're going to be grafted back in. If you got in and you weren't really part of the real olive tree and you were grafted in, how much more of the natural branches which belongs on the olive tree going to be grafted back in, brother? That's what he's saying here. That's what he's saying. Israel. So don't get the big head, you Gentiles, but be humble. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 25. For I would not, brethren, that ye should be ignorant of this mystery, lest ye should be wise in your own conceit, that blindness in part is happened to Israel, until the fullness of the Gentiles be come in.
See that blindness of Israel done happen until the fullness of the Gentiles come in. So when your season is up, Gentile, it's up, and it's up. Because now Israel is what? Waking up. He can see, he can hear. All of a sudden, he knows he's Israel. All of a sudden, he knows he's a Hebrew. All of a sudden, he knows about Deuteronomy 28th chapter. Guess what? Your season is over, Gentiles. It's over. Blessed be the Most High. And I'm going to say it just like that. Go ahead, brother. Keep reading.
Verse 26.
Yes.
And so all Israel shall be saved.
All Israel shall be saved.
As it is written.
Yes.
There shall come out of Zion the deliverer.
There shall come out of Zion the deliverer.
And shall turn away ungodliness from Jacob.
We're going to stop following you. We're going to stop worshiping idols. We're going to turn away from ungodliness, Jacob is, and we are going to serve our Creator, known as I am that I am, AHAYAH. Go ahead, brother.
For this is my covenant unto them.
This is the covenant unto the house of Israel, not to the Gentiles, not to Japheth, Not to you other nation of Ishmael. But this is the unto the house of Jacob known as Israel. Go ahead, brother.
When I shall take away their sin. Verse 28. As concerning the gospel. They are enemies for you, for your sake.
We're enemies unto you, Gentile. We just want you to know that. Go ahead, brother.
But as touching the election.
You can't touch me, brother.
They are beloved for their father's sake.
He gonna take care of me. He gonna protect me. My days of you beating me up and putting me under your feet and all that other stuff is over. The Most High gonna take care of us. Read, brother.
For the gifts and callings of the Most High are without repentance.
Yes, brother. Keep reading.
Verse 30. For as ye in times past have not believed the Most High, yet have now obtained mercy through their unbelief.
So because of our unbelief, that's the only reason you got mercy. Gentiles, go ahead, brother.
Even so have these also now not believed, that through your mercy they shall, they also may obtain mercy.
Yes.
Verse 32. For the Most High hath concluded them in all in unbelief, that he might have mercy upon all. Verse 33. Oh, the depths of the riches, both of wisdom and knowledge of the Most High. How unsearchable are his judgments, and his ways past finding out. For who hath known the mind of the Lord, or who hath been his counselor, or who hath first given to him, and it shall be recompensed unto him again. Verse 36. For of him, and through him, and to him are all things, to whom be glory forever. Amen.
For of him, and through him, and to him are all things, all knowledge, all understanding, all blessings, for him, through him, and to him. And he giveth to the house of Israel all these things, to whom be glory forever. According to the scriptures here, amen. Blessed be the Most High. Blessed be his holy name. For he is worthy to be praised. Embrace your blackness. Know who you are. Don't you Gentiles get the big head, because you know you were grafted in, but we are the natural branches. That's what we are. We are the root. Let's go to Deuteronomy 28 and verse 64. Deuteronomy 28 and 64.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 64. And the Most High shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone.
So once again, here's this wood and stone again. Here it is being scattered all over the earth. Nobody else had went through this but real children of Israel who were slaves. And on that note, we need to know that we are the children of Israel, and that we are being blessed. We are not cursed. We need to embrace our blackness or our dark skin. We also need to nurture it, because it is the melanin that makes a difference in us. Because that's what makes deal with our spirituality versus these other people being in the flesh. We are spiritual first, and they are body first. So we need to understand that. So we need to eat more raw vegetables, and raw salads, and raw fruit. We need to eat those separately in order to get that wonderful melanin that our body so desires and needs. And see, melanin also has to do with your faith. Faith is the force that give life-giving results. It's in touch of our higher consciousness, our faith, all that deal with melanin. So, believe it or not, embrace your blackness and know that that deals with your melanin. Melanin in the body is what they measure in the brain. And the melanin that's in your skin is not as concentrated, but that's what give you the intelligence and all its senses and all the creativity and everything else that make you unique. You're not just like everybody else, but you are special because of your blackness or the melanin. Bless you. Bless each and every one. This is El Elashawan speaking today on embracing the blackness in this brotherhood meeting. To my left is Brother Mashon. We want to thank you from the gathering here in Jordan. May the Most High bless you, and we pray that He continue to be with you and your family. We ask these thanks and blessings in the sweet name of AHAYAH, Shir AHAYAH, by Hashem Yeshai Wakadash. We want to say the water, Abba. Blessed be the Most High. At this time, we're gonna stop the lesson, and we're gonna take some